Alright, welcome to your very first lecture on the Tkinter module. So the Tkinter module is actually where the basic or the main GUI programming happens in Python. And using this module, we can create some fantastic looking applications, games, etc. as we progress along into this course. So let's get started. First thing first, make sure you don't use the shell at all. Definitely open up a new file if you're wondering how. File, new file, and you'll get a file like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Alright, make this a bit bigger. Alright, so the way this is going to work is the first command is to import Tkinter into our whole file. Alright, so we need the Tkinter functions, we need all that to work, so let's go ahead and do that. Instead of writing import Tkinter, what I want you to do is write from Tkinter import star, and all this does is it says, hey, make sure you get everything, don't leave anything behind, import everything from the Tkinter module. Alright, so the next thing is we want to initialize that screen, okay, that basic screen that you always see in a Tkinter module, the minimize sign, the maximize sign, and the close sign, stuff like that. So to do that, we're going to call the function or call the statement. You can give your window any name you want. You can call it app, you can call it root. Most people call it root. And root will now be equal to tk. So all this means is, hey, I want to initialize the Tkinter interface. I want a window to open. And this is basically all it does. Now, the next thing we want is we have this window and it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and run the program and see what happens. So it asks me source must we save, okay? Go ahead and save the program to your liking. Call it Tkinter test, Tkinter 1, section 1, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it Tkinter 1 in documents, hit save. And now that we run it, it goes back over here and your Python launcher, does something happen? Yes, it does. So your Python, for me, it's a rocket ship, but that should now load. And if you open it, you now have this very cool looking Tkinter interface. Alright, so this is the whole concept of the Tkinter module. You initialize it, you create, you add elements, you add widgets to your whole interface, add background colors, make things move, stuff like that. So very cool. In this lecture, we created a very simple Tkinter window. Alright, and right now this is, well, very basic. There's nothing to it, there's nothing in it, but it works and that's all we care about. So let's minimize this and take a look at our code. Alright, so from Tkinter import star, that basically imported everything we needed from the Tkinter module. And then after that, we used root is equal to tk to initialize that app, that window. Now, in case your window is not appearing, in case it's going away really quickly, the way to solve that is called the main loop function. And all the main loop function does is it says, hey, don't make the window go away until the user presses the X button or closes the window. So hitting F5, save the source, and then the Python launcher launches again. So as you can see, this restart has happened. And opening our Python launcher, again, there's no change to it, but in case you had the issue where you weren't able to see this whole window, it was disappearing for you, that's why we add the main loop. All the main loop says is, don't make the window go away immediately. Keep the window there until the user closes out of it. So if I close out of it, there we go, the program ends. Awesome. So this is our first introduction into the Tkinter module. Believe me, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. We'll learn a bunch of stuff, labels, menus, radio buttons, buttons in general, changing background color, stuff like that. And by the end of the section, the goal is you have understood how to create some nice looking GUIs in Python. See you in the next lecture.